So moving on to our next topic, reverse charge mechanism under GST. So what is this reverse charge mechanism and why it is applied? First of all, let us understand that. Then we will talk about an example and accounting of this reverse charge mechanism. Okay. So what is reverse charge mechanism and why it is applied? So the concept is near about same for TDS, TCS like that. But see, just understand one thing. I'll tell you what. TDS, TDS, TCS, these are a part of direct taxes. Okay? Direct tax, like income tax. They're a part of this. Okay? And GST is an indirect tax. Okay, now what is direct tax? Which is direct tax is a tax paid by the same person on which it is applicable. Like income tax, it is my responsibility, I will pay it to government on my income. Okay, but and also it is levied upon me directly. Now TDS, if you say TDS on my income will be deducted by my company and it will be paid to government, so directly impacting me. But GST on the other hand is impacting the person in front, okay, or you can say the ultimate consumer. It is not the middleman, it is impacting the ultimate consumer. Okay, so it is an indirect tax. So tax is basically on the ultimate consumer. I don't know who is he, but it is paid by various person in the middleman, this company, the person who is giving the service XYZ. So they will pay it to government. This is what the indirect tax means. Okay. Now why I'm saying this, because reverse charge mechanism was also introduced to tax the same sector where who are not paying taxes, right? So to charge them this indirect tax, this reverse charge mechanism was brought into picture. Now what is this reverse charge mechanism? Right now currently RCM is applicable on goods transport agency like these trolleys and truckwalas and commuters. Okay, on these, because they are very unorganized and they don't know what is GST and XYZ, and they will not pay it. They just take their money and they will go. So this GTA. Then there is lawyers, legal services. Why it is on legal services? Because XYZ reasons. I will not comment. Okay. Now, so reverse charge mechanism is right now on goods transport agencies, legal services, and foreign payments. Foreign payments. Now, why on foreign payments? Because you are paying it to a foreign company like say Facebook, who does not have a registered office in India. Let's say, uh, although Facebook has, but most other companies does not have. But since Facebook is an easy example, so Facebook, you are paying to Facebook X amount of money for advertising your company on Facebook, and Facebook does not have any office in India. But since it is giving services in India, it should be covered under GST, and it should also charge GST and paid to government on this service. But right now what is happening, since they are outside, nobody is able to get their hands on this Facebook and ask GST on from them. So what government has done, that they have applied reverse charge mechanism, in which if you are taking services from Facebook or from this good transport agency, the person who is taking the service or legal service and paying the money, that company is liable to charge GST on a reverse calculation basis and paid to government on the behalf of this GTA or this lawyer or this or the foreign Facebook. This is what the reverse charge is. The person who is taking the service will charge GST under reverse charge mechanism and paid to government, right? All these things are different. In case of TDS, who will pay TDS? The person who is obtaining the obtaining service and making payments, right? This is the same in this case also, here also it is same. Who will pay TCS? The person who is selling the goods, because it is on, these are on services and TCS is on goods. This is on goods also, goods and service. This is goods and service both, GST. Now TCS is the person who is selling goods. He will collect TCS from the purchaser and pay it to government. In this case it is selling. Now in case of TDS and GST, it is obtaining the service, the person who is obtaining the service. Now only in RCM I'm talking about. Now the case where you are registered dealer under GST, the person who is selling goods or selling its services, it will charge GST from the person in front and pay it to government. So these are different scenarios, right? Now let us understand these scenarios separately. So in case of reverse charge mechanism, if a company is making payment to goods transport agency or a lawyer or a foreign payment, then it has to charge reverse GST under reverse charge and pay it to the government. Simple as that. Okay. What will be the accounting entry? What will be the treatments? We will go through it. Okay. Now suppose I am charging RCM, GST under RCM, then what will be the accounting entry in that case? See, it is very simple. So there is no GST involved in the invoice. I got an invoice from a goods transport agency, let's say a trolley wala, okay, XYZ transport, right? This is the address, this is their pen, this is XYZ date. Now this is particulars, this is amount. Now they said for transport of XYZ furniture from one office to other office, and they're charging 1 lakh rupees. Okay, total 1 lakh. They are not covered into GST, so we have to charge reverse charge mechanism. This is the total amount they want. Okay, now you have to pay them 1 lakh rupees. You cannot deduct anything. Reverse charge means you do not have to deduct, you have to apply over it. Okay, this is the difference between TDS and reverse charge mechanism, because TDS you have to deduct from their bill, but reverse charge you have to charge on over, you have to charge on this value. So what you will do in case if there is no RCM, what entry you will do? Transport expense debit 1 lakh to vendor 1 lakh. Okay, no RCM GST, supposing there is no RCM. Now since there is reverse charge mechanism, what will you do? You have to charge additional reverse GST. It would be your liability and you have to pay it to government. Simple. So what will be the accounting entry? Transport expense debit 1 lakh to vendor account 1 lakh to RCM CGST liability to RCM SGST liability, let's say 99%, sorry 9,000. Okay, now what will be the debit part of it? See, it is very simple. When I am charging GST on additional amount, I am charging GST, I am paying this 18,000 rupees in excess to the government. So I will take the input credit of it also. It is a very simple thing. So it would be CGST RCM input, SGST RCM input, same 9,000. So it is creating a asset on one side and liability on one side. This is the simplest entry of this reverse charge mechanism under GST. There is no doubt about it. You have to charge over the amount, not deduct anything. Reverse charge mechanism does not mean deducting. It is charging over and above. But why it is called reverse charge? Because the person who is paying for the service has to charge and pay it to government, not the service provider. In a normal scenario, if I am giving you service, I will make an invoice and charge GST. and paid to government. But reverse charge, in this case of reverse charge, what happen is the person who is giving the service will not charge GST. The person who is paying for the service will charge GST separately in its books and paid to government, right? This is what the complete reverse charge mechanism is all about. And what is the rates of reverse charge mechanism? You can say, see, it is different on case to case scenarios. Rates, I would suggest that it would be better if you go to any industry, you will take a consultancy on the how much rate should be, because it differs from various things. There are various aspects into it, but I would say general rate would be CGST SGST 99%. If the transporter, let's say, is from if the transporter is from Delhi, then in this case, in this entry, instead of CGST and IGST, I would have debited instead of CGST and SGST, I would have debited as IGST RCM, and similarly here would be IGST liability, IGST RCM liability. This is what the difference is if the transporter is from another state. Rest the entry will remain same. Okay, so I think we have covered the complete module of reverse charge mechanism and prepaid and GST and inputs and TDS and TCS and everything on purchase of services. In case if you have any query, please let us know. And there are a lot of cases which we have given, lot of invoices which you have to understand, see, think. Solution is also given, but please do not look into the solution directly. First try to solve it on yourself, then look at the solution, and if there is any problem you can come back to us. Okay, till then we'll move on to next topic in the next video. Till then, bye bye. Thank you.